welcome to 4.07. This is going to be a quick glimpse into what you will expect when you're attending the live lesson. And at the end of this little pre-work video, you're going to be given a password. So make sure you watch this entire video so you can get that password and you can enter into your 4.07 live lesson. First thing I want to talk about is the required materials. Some students have a difficult time with the links that are in the middle of the screen. So make sure you're prepared to have a couple of different windows opened while you're attending this live lesson. You're going to need something to write with. You're going to need a scientific calculator, either a handheld or one from online. Here, this is just an example of a Google one. And then lastly, our bank rate information, which is where we're going to get all of our percentages that we need to complete this activity, is going to come from this last link. So just make sure when you open these up, you minimize them and you have them ready for when it's time to do some research. Okay, a couple major things from this screen. When you're given your whiteboard tools, you're going to see everything on the left-hand side. You're going to be encouraged to use the capital A without the lines on them. So here, if I were to click over here and I clicked on the capital A, and then I clicked on it again, I would have that option of switching between the two. But you want to stay away from the one that has the lines and just stick with the one without the lines up that are next to the capital A. And then you might just be asked to write your name up there. Just make sure that whatever you type up here is classroom appropriate. Your teacher can see who is typing what. So just keep that in mind. So you might say, my name is whatever your name is. And then another tool that you may possibly be using is the highlighter tool. Let me just grab that one. It's right over here. And you might be asked to highlight different things throughout the live lesson, as well as you might be asked to use the line tool where you're connecting maybe a definition with a vocabulary word. So those are the three different things that you will probably be using during 4.07. Just a quick note on this page, you want to make sure again that you're using only the capital A without the lines on it when you're typing your name on the attendance screen. Because if you use the other one, it's going to take up too much room and we won't be able to see your name up here. So it's really important that you use capital A without the lines. All right, next your teacher will probably go over this screen, or maybe they'll have some background information beforehand. But the research that you would be doing if you were working independently is similar to what you're going to be doing within this live lesson. You and the group, whatever group you're placed in, are going to pretend like you have your own company. And after just a few months of having this company open, you're starting to make money, which is a great thing. So using some of the money that you've already made during this company that you've begun, you're going to invest $5,000. So in this live lesson, you're going to take your $5,000 and you're going to try out that $5,000 with different certificates of deposits. Okay, this is something that a bank will offer or a third party may offer, and it's called a CD, and it's a good way for your money to grow. So we're going to see how this works and how this relates to exponential or linear growth. So that's really what the whole topic of this live lesson is about. So I'll show you a couple more pointers, and then when you are back in your live lesson, your teacher will go over more details about what you exactly will be doing within your groups. Okay, you're going to get to a screen that looks like this, where your teacher is going to say, okay, we're going to go into some breakout rooms. And when you go into your breakout rooms, it's important to know how to get there. Your teacher will show you to right-click somewhere on your own name on that line, and it's going to give you this drop-down. It's going to give you the option to send to a breakout room, and you want to make sure that you pick the breakout room that your teacher assigns to you. And then once you're in there, you're going to see this type of screen. So I'll show you what this means, because when the red line is surrounding the box here, that means that you have the opportunity to move those slides back and forth. So each and every one of you within that breakout room will be able to move back and forth between all the slides in your breakout room. When you first arrive in your breakout room, you're going to see this slide here, and it says to practice moving the slides. Remember, you're doing this and everyone else is doing this at the same time, but it's not going to affect other people's view of the screen. So as long as this line on the top or on the whole outside of the box is red, that means that you have control over maneuvering back and forth between slides. So what you'll be doing is clicking this button up here, and you'll be moving on to the next screens within your bank. The second screen within your breakout room is going to look like this. And each and every person within your breakout session, so the other students that are in your small group, will be responsible for plugging in different parts of the table. And you want to make sure you write your name next to it so you know that person was the one responsible for maybe the 1-year CD, the 2-year, the 3-year, and then possibly the 5-year CD. So I'm going to show you how to find that information using the Bankrate website, and then I'll show you why or how I got these numbers. Okay, so you're going to be instructed on how to do this, but it's important to see it, and sometimes there's technical issues, so you can't see how to go through this Bankrate website. So when you have it open, you're going to be asked to fill in your portion of the table using this information here. So let's say we were given Pentagon Federal Credit Union, and we wanted to research all their different types of CDs. You can see the top search summary has already been narrowed down for you as 1-year, 2-year, 3-year, and 5-year CDs, where you can see each one of these. Here we have our 1-year CDs and all these banks that are listed below, and it gives us the minimum deposit amount, so the minimum amount that you can put down in the CD, and it gives you the APY amount, which is going to be the first percentage that you see to the right of your bank. So if I'm looking for Pentagon, I'm going to keep scrolling down. I'm still within my 1-year CDs, but here's my Pentagon percentage for a 1-year CD, and they're offering 0.80% for a 1-year CD, which means you leave your money only for 1 year and then you get it back plus interest. And then here's my minimum deposit amount, the $1,000. So that's the information that you're going to take and type into the table. So let's say it were 1.16%. You're going to type that here for the APY, which was just to the right of your bank name, and your minimum deposit amount or minimum investment amount is going to be that value that we saw on the far right. Now, once this entire screen is filled out and you've worked together with your group, and it won't take very long if everybody's doing one portion of the table, so this will go pretty quickly, and your teacher will ask you to somehow indicate that you're ready to be moved back into the main room. They may even suggest that you move yourself back into the main room, but that's just dependent on who is teaching it that evening. So once this is filled out, we'll be ready to go so we can see what kind of money we're going to get back from this bank using our $5,000 that we're putting in. Okay, your next screen that you're going to be asked to fill out within your groups after your teacher instructs you with the details is this screen that you see here. The values that I plugged in here are not accurate for today. These are just hypothetical values. But just remember that you're taking all of your percentages from the screen before this, and you're going to be converting them into decimals first. And then when you create your function out of this, this is what that next step is going to look like. You're going to take your function that's already partially filled in, and you're going to fill in what's within the parentheses, given your decimal form of the percent, and then placing a 1 in front of it. This is going to give you everything you need to then finally calculate the amount of money you're going to make after that set amount of time. That final step is going to require us to use the scientific calculator to plug in our function so that we can find out how much money we're going to get back after a set amount of time. So if I show you, what I'm going to show you is exactly how to plug it in all at once, and then you will see how your money grows over a set amount of time. So I'm going to be taking this entire thing, and even though this shows an X right here, you're going to be given something. So if, let's say this were a 3-year, then you would plug in a 3 right there where you see the X, and your calculator is going to do the rest. Okay, so plugging it all in, I would go 5,000. I would go open parentheses, 1.0116, close my parentheses, and then using this button here, I'm raising it to a power of 3 because this is my 3-year CD. And then I click equals, and that gives me my total dollar amount after 3 years given this here, okay? So given my percentage here, convert it into a decimal, convert it again into a function, and then finally, the money I get to take home is $5,176.03. You always want to make sure you round to 2 decimal places since we are discussing money. That value that you get from your calculator is going to go right here, and that's going to be the amount of money that you made after interest was earned, given whatever CD, given whatever bank you were assigned to. And that is the end of this brief summary of what you need to know for 4.07. Now, the password that you're going to need to know to give to your teacher so they know that you watched this pre-work video is Apple. So make sure you write it down. It's all lowercase and it's APPLE. Have a great day.